Where should I take him?
You brought Dark Star?
I had to. I felt sorry for the old boy.
Thanks so much, Kathy. I can't tell you how grateful I am.
I don't have much time, Kim.
Les, could you unload him, please? Thanks. Stables have been ready for ages. He'll love it. This has made my day, Kathy. You will come in for a moment, won't you?
No, I'd rather not. I've got a lot to do. As far as I'm concerned, this is the end of my responsibilities now.
Responsibilities? To whom?
To both of you. You and Frank.
You don't sound so matter-of-fact about it, Kathy.
You can't expect me to take sides, Kim. And if I did,
It'd be with Frank. Even after what happened the other night?
I'm not excusing his behaviour.
I hope not.
But whose fault was it he got into that state?
How was I to know what it'd drive him to?
You might have guessed.
And he tried to shoot me? Did you guess?
No, but I do know how much he loved you.
I couldn't help falling in love with Neil. It just happened. Might happen to you one day.
No, Chris is the only man in my life.
Yeah, well, I thought Frank was the only one in mine. But these things happen.
I didn't come here to listen to you try to justify yourself, Kim.
I thought we were friends. Surely you have some feelings for me. Do you know what it's like to have your own husband try to kill you?
You must be going through hell, but so is Frank, as you've seen for yourself.
Don't go like this, Kathy.
All the horses have gone, the stables are empty, Frank's selling off the spare feed. It's finished, Kim. I don't think we have anything to say to each other anymore.
Morning.
Morning.
Everything all right?
Fine. Everything's fine.
I thought he'd have told you at the restaurant. Told me as soon as he got back.
Never so much as hinted at it.
Anyway, we've seen it coming. Divorce is the only solution.
Yes, I know.
So I look so worried. They're never going to get together again.
Just hope he goes the right way about it, that's all.
Well, he's instructed his solicitor already.
Has he?
She'll get there in a few days, he said, and he hopes an injunction to bar her from Home Farm.
He can't do that. He hasn't thought it out at all.
He just wants to get shot of her so he can get on with his own life again. He's been very practical about it, if you ask me.
If he takes out an injunction against Kim, she's going to retaliate. She's not stupid. It could get very nasty.
I don't think she could hurt Dad any more than she already has.
She'll take him to the cleaners, Zoe.
Why should she do that? Neil Kincaid has more than enough money.
Forget Neil. If Dad succeeds in making an enemy of Kim, she'll take him to court for every penny he's got. If she brings up the shotgun incident, Dad won't have a leg to stand on.
Do you think she'd go that far?
Of course she would.
He was so harsh with me.
She'll come round.
Will she? I doubt it. They're all siding with Frank. I suppose it's only natural.
Do you wish you were still back there, Kim?
Of course not.
Kim.
She was so cold, Neil. We used to be such friends.
Kathy? Kathy? Hi. Oh, sorry. I was miles away. I thought I'd give this place a final clean-up.
I'm sorry it had to end like this, Kathy. You put a lot of work into this business.
Oh, I'm just glad it's all over. It was time to move on.
Only because you found out about Kim's affair. You were happy till then, weren't you?
Kim's ruined everything. We had a really good business going. Now it's all gone. She seemed so content. Why did she throw it all away?
Better ask her that.
I have. She just said she couldn't help it. I was awful to her today, Zoe.
Oh, don't feel guilty about it.
She was like a little kid when I took Dark Star over. She was so pleased to see him. I felt so sorry for her.
I hope you got over it.
I did. Very quickly. Then I felt like shaking her, stop her from being happy. Silly, really.
It's not silly. It's understandable. Come on, I made some coffee.
Yeah, thanks.
What's worrying you, Christopher? Of course I want a divorce.
Yes.
A quick, clean break. She can't defend it. Admitted adultery with Neil named as co-respondent. Open and shut case.
She'll cross-petition.
On what grounds?
Cruelty? The scene with the shotgun won't help you.
That was after she left me.
Yes, but think what a lawyer could make of it in court.
They won't even come to court.
Oh, you're naive or stupid if you think that, Dad. Maybe she won't contest it if you handle it the right way, but to try and bar her from even coming here...
All right. So what do you want me to do, then?
Get control of yourself. Play this cool. For a start, you should offload some of your assets.
What?
So there's less in the estate for Kim to get her hands on if she does cross-petition.
She's no rights to anything.
Listen to me, Dad. The law won't see it that way, whether she's the guilty party or not. And if she does decide to take you to the cleaners...
She wouldn't do that.
Why shouldn't she? You don't have a leg to stand on.
Nonsense.
You prevented her from running her business by removing all her horses. You slashed all her clothes. You threatened her with a shotgun. For God's sake, the law is on Kim's side.
All right. So I'll offload some of my assets. Satisfied?
Make them over to the haulage company.
Why the haulage company?
So at least they'd be sure of staying in the family.
I just need time to think about it.
Look, what is there to think about? You've got to act now. Before Kim receives the injunction. Look, pull yourself together. You don't need a drink.
Don't you ever tell me what I can or cannot do in my own house.
Listen to me, Dad. I don't want to see you lose everything you've worked for.
Just get out.
Dad, please.
Leave me alone! Both of you! What? What's happening?
There's some coffee made.
Happy?
What do you think?
Good.
I've been thinking about tonight.
Haven't changed your mind? Tony and Barbara are looking forward to it, I promise you.
Of course not. I thought I might buy a new dress for the occasion. I want to look my best for you.
Fair enough. I'll come with you if you like.
You don't have to. There's nothing as boring as someone else's clothes shopping.
No, I'd like to. Anyway, there are a couple of shops in North Allerton Barbara swears by. I could introduce you to them.
Fine. You know, I still can't get over it. Frank cutting up most of my clothes like that.
Oh, it was relatively restrained, considering all the other things he's done.
I know, but my clothes... Almost seems like it was me who was doing it to.
Can't go on like this.
Why not? Go on, give me one good reason.
Because it's not helping.
I don't know. It makes me feel better.
Does it? It doesn't look like it.
I know what I'm doing.
Yes? You haven't done any work for days. Joe hasn't got a clue what's going on. You're letting everything fall apart.
I don't care.
No, I can see that.
What you want me to do, Zoe? Pretend that none of this ever happened?
Of course not. But isn't it time you stopped feeling sorry for yourself?
Leave me alone, Zoe. Will you? Just leave me alone.
Well, what do you think?
Lovely. You look lovely.
Well, thank you, kind sir.
There is just one thing.
What?
No, nothing. Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Tell me.
Well,
It's a dress, isn't it? I knew it wasn't me, but you would insist.
it's not the dress. Those earrings, darling.
What's wrong with them?
Well, they're just a bit...
What?
well, a tad too much for the dress.
Really?
But then again, what do I know? Tell you what, Why don't you wear the new ones I bought you this afternoon? I'm sure they'd be better.
If you think so.
I think it's pretty impressive, setting up your own stables from nothing. Can't have been easy.
Oh, it was fun. That's what made it easy, really.
Kim's far too modest.
By all accounts, you made a very good go of it.
Yes, I think so.
Well, I suppose you've always worked with horses, have you?
Not really, no. Not until I started up at home farm.
Well, I'm even more surprised.
Oh, it's something I always wanted to do, ever since I was a child. I used to read those comics, you know, the ones where all the little girls belong to a pony club.
See? I had quite a different idea.
More pudding, Barbara. Tony?
No, thank you, Neil. So what did you do then before the stables?
She was in business.
Really?
Yes, I was Frank's secretary, actually.
Frank? Oh, you mean...
Yes, that's how I met him.
Oh, I see. How interesting.
Coffee, anyone?
Never trust a woman. That's my advice, Archie. Give 'em an inch, they'll take your arm off.
Dad, don't.
Well, I'm just giving Archie the benefit of my hard-earned experience.
Maybe he doesn't want it.
Of course he does. Don't you, Archie?
Can we talk about something else?
Like what? I know. The weather. It's very cold for this time of the year, don't you think? Ah, here's a good one, Archie. The silent treatment. Women are very good at that, have you noticed? You know, when they want something.
Come on, Frank. There's no point taking it out on Zoe, is there?
That's because you don't know what she's up to. Her and Christopher, they're conspiring together, you know.
No, I don't know.
Making sure that I'm never left alone.
Yeah, I can see why, really.
Oh, you do you? Well, you would, wouldn't you?
I think I'd better go.
I'd rather you didn't, please, Archie.
Sit down, Archie, and shut up. Zoe wants you to stay here. You've got to stay here. Isn't that right, Zoe?
We're just trying to do what's best for you, Dad.
Best? All you do is talk about me behind my back. Come on, Archie, what's she told you? Hey, what's she told you?
Nothing at all. Nothing I can't see for myself, anyway.
Dad, you don't need any more.
Oh, yes, I do. And more and more and more.
Well, have it then. I don't care. Go on, have the whole bottle. You don't care about me. Why should I care about you?
That's all I've ever done, Zoe. Look after the family, look after Kim. What about me? She's never cared about
Dad,
me.
please.
Don't touch me.
Dad, come on, sit down.
I don't need your help. Leave me alone.
Dad.
There we are. Now, Barbara.
Thanks, Neil. So what did your people do exactly, Kim?
My mum and dad? My mum was a hairdresser.
A hairdresser? Oh, how interesting.
She was really good. Ran one.
Ah, that's art and literature.
Oh, Lord, I'm useless at those.
Right. Who wrote Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh, I can answer that one. Tennessee Williams.
No, it wasn't. Someone else. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, no, darling, I'm sure it's Tennessee Williams.
Shall I tell you?
No, hang on. Edward Albee.
Kim's right.
Knew it.
All right, darling, there's no need to gloat.
I really ought to go. I wouldn't want Seth to think I wasn't bothered.
I don't suppose he'll notice whether you're there or not.
Maybe not, but I want to be there. Even if I do run into Frank at the graveside.
You won't be there. You'll be far too busy getting drunk to worry about Meg's funeral.
So what are you saying, then? It doesn't matter if I go or not?
No. I'm saying there's no point putting yourself through agonies over it. Well, there's one for you. I didn't know anybody knew you lived here. Anyway, whatever you decide, I'm sure Seth will understand.
Well, I'm going, and that's all there is to it. Oh, no. Should have known he'd do something like this. How dare him? Listen to this. I'm instructed by my client to institute proceedings for divorce.
Well, that's all right, isn't it? I mean, what did you expect?
Hang on. It is my client's understanding that in view of your admitted adultery with Mr. Neil Kincaid, the petition will remain uncontested on your part. I would be happy to have your confirmation on this point in order that proceedings may be expedited in the shortest possible time. Can you believe this?
Darling, I know it's upsetting, but it's what we wanted, isn't it? Get the whole thing over and done with as soon as we can.
Like this?
Well, I still don't understand why you're so upset. You knew this would happen.
It's not the divorce he's bothered about. He couldn't care less who petitions who. Just wants to make damn sure I don't get my hands on any money.
Well, yes, but darling,
he's
the
in for
money
a surprise, Neil. You needn't think I'm going to give in without a fight. Hang on.
Hello, Kim. It's good to see you. Listen, do you want to come and sit with us? We're quite a crowd.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. A bit of a twit of my own.
Didn't expect to see you, really.
No, but I've always liked Seth, and I wouldn't have wanted to miss it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Looks awful, Sarah.
Yeah, not so good.
Cheers, Seth.
Ah, Mr. Tate, can I get you one in?
No, thanks, Seth. I'm not stopped. I just wanted to pay my respects.
Oh, I take that very kindly. I'll pass that on to Meg. She'll be right pleased.
What a shocker.
Yes.
Meg Armstrong, of all people. I would have sworn the day she dropped down dead. She was indestructible.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yet a day gone tomorrow. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, it does. Excuse me. I didn't think you'd have the nerve to turn up here today.
Really?
Especially without the boyfriend.
Let me pass, will you? I want to go home.
Oh. It's home now, is it?
Yes.
Well, well. How things do change, don't they?
Yes.
You got my letter, I take it?
I heard from your solicitor, if that's what you mean.
Oh, good. So you'll be in touch soon?
I won't be, but my solicitor will. You can be sure of that. I shouldn't have gone.
I wish you hadn't.
But I'm glad I did. So was Seth, he was sweet. But I'm damned if I'm going to wall myself in here, frightened to go out because of Frank.
Oh, I should have come with you.
I don't need a minder, Neil. I can look after myself.
Kim, let me help, will you?
I'm sorry. I'm upset and angry.
Yes, I know. I understand, believe me. Hmm? Let's try and be calm about it, shall we?
Okay, sorry.
I mean, he can't threaten you. Anyway, he wants to divorce Kim. Well, so do we, don't we?
Well, yes.
And we're living together quite openly, so the grounds are clear.
Yes.
So there's no problem, is there? I mean, he's right. If you don't defend it, it'll go through in a few weeks.
Yes, but if I don't fight it, there'll be no settlement. I won't get a penny from Frank.
But you don't need it, Kim. I've got as much as Frank. More, far more.
Neil.
I'm sorry, Kim, if it sounds like I'm trying to buy you off him or something.
You said it.
But I'm just saying that I can give you everything you need. I want. It's love, that's all. But it means that you don't need Frank's money.
You don't understand, Neil.
Well, of course I do.
This isn't about you or Frank or how much money you're worth. This is about me, my worth. I put years into that business. I stood by him when he nearly went bankrupt. I put money into it. It's not just the alimony I'm after or half the house. It's my share of the business. I'm entitled to it. I'm going to fight for it.
Well, that's that. Poor old Seth, he seems to have lost it a bit. Seemed to think that Meg was at home waiting for him.
I know the feeling.
Everything changes, Dad, but we survive, don't we? We go on to the next day and the next and...
Do we?
Come on. Let's have a cup of tea, shall we?
I'm sorry, Kim. It's really stupid of me. I don't know how I could have left my wallet at home. I haven't got a penny on me.
It's all right. I don't have enough cash. I've got my card. Looks like the card. Would you like a car wash as well? I'll treat you.
I'm sorry, your card's not authorised.
What? Why not?
I can't accept it.
This is ridiculous. I have money in my account.
I'm sorry. You'll have to talk to your bank.
I don't believe it. Here.
Thanks. Yeah, that's fine.
Very odd.
Yeah, well, my bank manager's going to feel very odd after I've spoken to him. Yes, well, in future, I suggest you tell all your customers about changes like this. Yes, I'll be in tomorrow. Fine. Bye.
The bank? What'd they say?
The card is no longer valid.
Is it out of date?
Oh, no. It's not past its sell-by date. It's the account that's the problem. Our joint account.
Yes.
Frank went in a couple of days ago, withdrew all the money, and closed the account.
Of course, in the long run, it won't make any difference. The divorce will sort out its financial obligations to you.
You might at least have told me you'd closed the account. I could have been stuck miles from anywhere without any money. Perhaps that's what he wanted.
Perhaps. Are there any more joint accounts?
No, we only had the one for household expenses. It's just so embarrassing.
This does prove a point, you know.
What point?
Well, until you know exactly where you stand financially, you're going to need a little bit of help. I wish you'd let me give you that help.
You mean support me?
We're together, after all. I want to look after you. Help you.
You've got to see it from my side.
I know.
I can look after myself. And while I'm cutting the ties with Frank, I just want to be, well, a bit careful about making others too soon. You do understand?
Yes. Yes, of course I do. Anyway, the offer's still there anytime you want.
Thank you. I'll remember. Well, you'd better move. You'll be late for that meeting.
Okay. I'm on my way.
What time will you be back?
I shouldn't be later than 6. I thought I'd drop in on Mother.
Well, I could do that.
No. Won't take long. Bye-bye.
See you.
Kim, I am sorry to be this late.
Where have you been? I was getting really worried. You said 6 o'clock.
I know, I'm sorry. Is dinner completely ruined?
No, luckily for you. So, how was the meeting? It must have been a struggle to take this long.
No, it went very well. I think I finally got them to see sense.
Well, if it wasn't the meeting, then what did keep you?
Oh, well, it was Mother, actually. I dropped in to see her on the way back and I couldn't get away.
Well, why didn't you phone? I could have joined you. I hadn't seen her for a while.
I didn't think.
Oh, well, nothing spoiled.
I am sorry. Am I forgiven?
Of course. I'll go and get ready for dinner. Then you can tell me all about the meeting. You could have brought your mother round for dinner tonight.
Oh, she's not one for going out at night very much. It's rather tired.
When I met her with Frank, she seemed very fit.
During the day, yes, but at night she does get tired.
It's funny. She hasn't been here since I moved in.
She respects other people's privacy.
You don't think she's avoiding me?
No, of course not.
Well, why don't you give her a call? Ask her round for a drink. It's only 8 o'clock.
I don't think that would be a very good idea.
Why not?
To tell the truth, I have asked her to come over here and meet you.
And what did she say?
She won't. She doesn't think I should be seeing you, and she doesn't think you should be here. I've tried to make her change her mind. It's useless, so let's just forget it, shall we?
Forget it?
Look, my mother's a stubborn woman. She'll come round in the end. I don't want to upset her by pushing too hard.
But you don't mind upsetting me?
That's not fair. She's old. She doesn't understand. I thought you would.
Oh, I think I do. You'd rather upset me than her.
Darling, you'll always come first with me.
You sure it's only your mother you're worried about?
Well, what do you mean? Of course it is.
We haven't seen any of your friends since we met Tony and Barbara.
We had a nice enough evening with them.
Yes, and you were enjoying it until I told them that I used to be just a secretary. It was written all over your face.
Kim, you're being ridiculous.
And to admit my mother was a hairdresser. Well, you certainly went down in Barbara and Tony's estimation, didn't you? Poor Neil, going out with a common secretary.
This is all just nonsense.
Oh, come on, Neil. You're scared what your good friends are saying behind your back. You're ashamed of me.
What's so funny?
That
Well, it looks like a portable telly.
wouldn't surprise me.
What wouldn't surprise you?
Well, they love their creature comforts, some of our drivers.
Can't blame them. They deserve a bit of luxury. Well, it can't be much fun channel hopping for a living, can it?
Dad.
I think I'll make some tea.
Talking to me now, are you?
Of course I am.
You were pretty cool the other day.
I was angry.
Yes, and I've apologized.
I just care about you, Dad.
I know. I've been thinking about what you said.
Goodness for that.
And you're wrong.
About what?
About everything. I'm going ahead with the divorce.
You're making a big mistake.
When I want your opinion, son, I'll ask for it. I'm divorcing Kim. End of story. Okay?
Do you think Frank's off the booze now?
Well, if his behaviour's anything to go by. No, I doubt it.
Did he tell you about his letter?
What letter?
Well, after you stormed off, he came in here and told me he'd heard from Kim's solicitor.
Oh, yeah.
She cites him in her affidavit with, continuous physical cruelty and mental torture since they got married.
Kim is going to wipe the floor with him. I knew something like this would happen.
Yes, well, Frank didn't expect it.
Why won't he listen? How many times have I told him he's pushing Kim into a corner? Of course she's going to hit back. This is just...
Hi. Doing anything?
Not a lot.
Good. Don't. We're going out later. I've just got the odd phone call to make.
Where are we going?
If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise.
What sort of surprise?
Wait and see. Damned cleaner. Why can't she leave things where they are? I'll have to get rid of her.
That was me, actually.
Oh. Oh, well, never mind. She's a real busybody anyway. I'm sure she spies on me from Mother, not to mention the village gossips.
Look, I'm quite capable of doing a bit of housework if you want to sack her.
Oh, hardly, Kim. That would really set the tongues wagging if I had you cleaning up after me.
What is it?
I rather hoped you'd recognise it. It's a stable yard.
I know it's a stable yard, Neil, but what are we doing here?
What do you think of it?
Very nice, I suppose.
Nearly 14 acres.
It's a good size. Plenty of room for an indoor school.
Well, that's what I thought. And an exercise pool. You could go over on the far side.
They're expensive things to build.
Let's have a look inside. Come on. What do you think?
They're nice stables, Neil.
Well, they could be even better.
Yes, place has definitely got potential. Let's go, shall we?
Don't you want to look around? I mean, really look around.
What's the point? By the time I get my settlement, this'll have long gone.
Ah, but you don't have to wait for your settlement, do you?
Of course I do.
Just tell me. Do you like this place?
Well, yes. Yes, they're good stables.
Good.
What's this?
The deeds to this yard.
You've bought it?
Yeah, for you. I knew you'd fall in love with the place. Kim, don't be silly. By the time you get your settlement, this place could be sold.
That's a risk I'll have to take.
Darling, be reasonable.
No! I don't want it.
You said yourself it's got potential. You could make it work. I know you could.
But I'd be doing it with your money, not mine.
The money means nothing.
Funny. That's what Frank said when he helped me set up in business. The money meant everything to him in the end.
How many times do I have to tell you? I am not Frank.
The circumstances are the same.
These deeds belong to you.
I'm sorry, Neil. This is my business, my life, my choice. And my answer's no.
No, Archie, I don't know where Zoe is, and neither do I know when she'll be back. I'm her father, not her manager. Yes, of course I'll tell you rang, Archie.
Frank.
Yep, thanks for ringing. Bye. I expected you first thing.
I did my rounds first. I thought I told you.
You probably did. It's just that I've got a meeting in an hour. I've made a list of all the things that need doing before the opening.
No last-minute hitches?
No. Why'd you ask?
A lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Everything's bang on schedule. At least the time we're going to hit the ground running.
Well, look, there's a couple of ideas I picked up at the leisure show I want to talk to you about.
Good. Now, the lake is completed and stocked. The additional cabins will be online by the end of the week. And we can start taking advance bookings for the touring caravans whenever we want to.
You have been busy.
Yeah, well, what else would I be? You want something doing, you do it. Listen, I've got to get to this meeting. Can I leave these with you?
Oh, stop that now.
I want completion dates on each item by the end of the day.
Frank, how are things otherwise?
Otherwise?
Well, in yourself.
I'm fine. Thanks.
And how are things with Kim?
Kim? Kim who?
I shouldn't bother about dinner tonight if I were you.
No? Dining with your mother tonight?
No, I'm taking you out.
In public?
I thought I'd surprise you. We'll be eating with some friends.
I wish you'd asked me about things like this.
You'll love them. They're just the sort of people you'll get on with.
According to whom?
Kim, you need to widen your social circle. Trust me. I know about these things.
I think the very least you could have done is discuss it with me.
I just wanted to prove to you that what you said about me, being ashamed of you, it isn't true.
So who are these friends of yours?
They're not my friends, they're our friends.
Oh, really?
Wear something nice, huh? Bye.
Hello? Kim? Joe! It's good to hear you. How long have you been back?
A day or so. Just one day in harness, I'm glad to say.
So how are you?
Fine, fine. And you?
I'm fine.
Truthfully?
How did you find Frank?
Don't change the subject.
No, I'd like to know. There's no one else I can ask. Is he still drinking?
I believe he is.
It's a real mess, isn't it, Joe?
Kim, these things happen. Life goes on. I mean, look at me. Now, you going to tell me how you are, or do I have to guess?
Why don't we meet up for a drink?
Fine. How about lunchtime today?
Suits me.
Do you know the flag at Connaughton?
Connaughton? What's wrong with the wool pack?
Nothing, I just thought...
I wouldn't want to be seen in there.
The wool pack is fine by me if it's fine by you.
I'm not going to start avoiding the people I know. I've done nothing to be ashamed of.
Yes, I should think, Seth. He's getting enough practice, isn't he? Oh, Kim. What a nice surprise. Well, what can I get you?
Gin and tonic, please, Alan.
Hello, Kim. What brings you this way?
It's not unknown, Carol. I do live round here.
It's good to see you, Mrs. Tate.
Thank you, Seth. It's good to see you.
And what folk do is their own business, that's what I always say.
Seth.
That's what I believe.
There you are. You on your own?
For now.
Hi. Been waiting long?
No.
Drink?
No, thanks.
Alan, pint, please.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
No smoke without fire.
Mind your own business.
What did I say?
So, what you got to say for yourself?
Not a lot these days, Joe. Not a lot of people who seem to want to listen.
I'm listening. Everything all right with you and Neil?
I suppose so.
You just suppose so?
He took me out the other day, showed me some stables he'd bought.
And?
He'd bought them for me. Even had plans drawn up for development. Really put him out when I refused to take them on.
I thought he knew you better than that.
Yeah, you and me both. He wants me to be dependent on him, Joe. I've never been dependent on anyone in my life. Not even Frank.
Well, maybe he just likes to buy you things. You know how fellas are. Once he realises you're not impressed.
I just thought I'd bring this over.
Alan?
Is everything all right?
Thank you.
I've decided to go on a Mediterranean cruise.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes, I thought I'd go and book it this afternoon.
You'll enjoy the break.
Yes. well, if there's anything you need.
Thank you.
It's more than that, Joe. He wants to change me. I know he does. He wants me to fit in with his way of life, and I just can't.
Can I ask you one thing? Do you love him?
Would I have gone through hell if I didn't?
Well, then if you love him, you'll find a way around this. You'll find some sort of compromise.
I'm not prepared to make compromises, Joe. Not anymore.
Hello.
Neil.
I got home early.
So I see.
I was wondering where you were.
I decided to go out.
You didn't say you were going anywhere.
I didn't know I was going anywhere till I decided to go out this morning.
That'll explain it, then.
Explain what?
Your tendency to vanish to places without telling me.
I wasn't aware I needed your permission to go out.
I was worried about you.
I'll tell you what. Next time I decide to go out, I'll leave you a note with directions as to where I might be found.
Really, Kim, there's no need to be so defensive.
I feel defensive, and I'm just wondering why I should.
Might it have to do with where you've been?
I doubt it.
Where have you been?
I was in the Woolpack having a drink with Joe Sugden.
The Woolpack? Do you think that was wise?
What are you talking about?
Kim, you know the way things are at the moment. What's the point in drawing attention to yourself?
And what would you have me do? Hide myself away in a Siberian salt mine until my divorce is settled?
No, of course not. I'm just asking you to be a little more cautious, that's all.
Cautious?
Half the afternoon in a pub. What were you doing there all that time?
Having fun. Being myself. We need to talk.
I tend to agree. Where do we start?
Look, I'm sorry if I sounded a bit ungrateful about the stables.
Well, I should have approached you first. But I did so want to see your face when you realised it was yours.
But you do understand.
Now that you've had time to think about it, it wasn't such a bad idea, was it?
Neil, you're not listening to me. I can't just accept the stables as a gift.
But you just said...
What I'm trying to say is I might take them on. But it would have to be on my terms. I would like you to agree that I pay you back the cost once the business is established.
Are you serious?
Either that or we become partners. What do you say?
That's what you want. And I can't help feeling it would be so much easier if you just accepted them as a gift.
Ah, Frank. What can I get you?
That's Scotch, please.
Can't remember the last time I saw him in here before lunchtime.
Poor man.
Oh, Mr. Tate. Nice to see you. Expecting someone?
I think Mr. Tate would like to feel his business was his own.
It's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
No, of course not.
It's just that with Joe and Kim chatting in here yesterday, I thought...
You thought what, Carol?
Well, I don't know what I thought.
You thought I'd come here to cause trouble.
Sorry?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Well done, Carol.
Be good. I'll see you tonight about 8-ish.
You will give a thought to what I said about the stables?
Yes, I will. In the meantime, give them a call.
What's this?
Company of architects I've agreed to do the renovation work.
You've agreed? When will you ever listen to me? This has got to be a joint venture or you can count me out.
Come on, darling, just go and look at the plans.
What plans?
They're jolly good. I've also asked them to make a scale model of how the place will look.
And when did you ask them?
I was there yesterday.
But I told you I didn't want the stables.
But all that's changed, hasn't it?
Oh, yes, about an hour ago.
So what's the problem?
The problem is you were still having meetings with the architects.
Yes.
Knowing that I wasn't interested.
Ah, but I know something you didn't.
What?
I know you. I knew you'd come round in the end.
Frank, you all right?
Archie, how delightfully nice to see you.
Thanks.
Now, what can I do for you?
I've come to see Zoe.
As you would, Archie. As you would.
Is she in?
Sometimes. Sometimes not. Sometimes I'm not even sure. That's a big, big house, Archie. When you're rattling around by yourself, a house that big, you lose track of who's in and who's out.
Yeah, I can see it might be difficult for you. When's she due back? Frank!
What?
Zoe, when's she coming in?
I don't know, Archie. Do you want to wait?
Yeah, I might do. Look, why don't you go and have a lie down?
Yeah, I might do. Oh, I'm not interrupting anything, am I? Need a drink. Don't mind me. Oh, I get it. I'm the subject of the conversation.
You think you should be having that, Frank?
I think so, Archie. In fact, I think you should have one too.
Well, why don't you just put it down and leave it alone,
Don't you dare tell me how to behave in my own house, Archie!
Archie's not trying to tell you anything,
It's all
Dad.
right, Zoe, leave it.
I may not be Frank Tate family man anymore, but nothing else has changed. Despite all the whispering going on.
Nobody is whispering, Dad.
No, of course they are. All this is still mine. Nobody's taken that away from me. And nobody ever will.
There's something going on there, Seth. My instincts tell me.
Mine are playing up and all, Carol. Give me another pint.
Have you no interest in what goes on in the community?
Only if it affects me first.
Ah, well, you'll want to meet the new tenants of the Woolpack, then.
Eh?
Yeah, we're moving in at the weekend.
Oh, these drinks will be on you, then.
Since we've been living together, I've seen a completely different side to it.
That's always the case. You should know that. There's always a period of adjustment.
I know, but usually for both parties.
You mean he's not budging?
It's as though he has this vision of me as something I'm not. And I'm expected to live up to this image.
You tried talking to him?
No good. I love him, but I'm not going to sacrifice myself as a person.
Then we should go over. Say hello.
Of course we should. Not just now, though.
So you'll be in charge for a couple of weeks, will you, Jack?
We'll be living upstairs, Seth, and that doesn't mean...
It doesn't mean we can't give a hand down here.
Oh, Sarah's no stranger behind this bar. Why do you ask, Seth?
Oh, no. So I suppose Turner's giving you a free hand, has he?
Sort of. Why do you ask?
No reason. Do you think his bar prices are a bit steep for pensioners?
He doesn't seem to hear me. Doesn't seem to see me sometimes.
Must be difficult, though, for someone who's used to having their own way.
It's difficult for me as well, Joe.
I'm just trying to see both sides.
I just resent what he's trying to do to me.
Well, I don't know what to advise then.
I don't really need advice, Joe. I think I know what I have to do.
Hello.
You're early?
You're worth rushing back for.
Really? How was your day?
Not bad. Did you call in at the architect's?
Let's get this sorted once and for all, Neil. I have no intention of ever calling in at your architect's.
What?
Okay, I know the stables were meant to be a gift, but did it ever cross your mind to ask me what I actually thought of them?
Well, I did.
Only once it was all signed, sealed and delivered. Even when I told you I didn't want them, you ignored me. You still went ahead behind my back.
You're being ridiculous.
Don't you ever listen to me. Do you care what I say or think?
Well, you know I do.
I don't know anything of the sort. Seems to me you care more about what your mother feels and thinks. Doesn't matter what I think.
That's just not true.
Isn't it? Then why don't you ever bring her round here when I ask you to? Because she looks upon me as some sort of social embarrassment. So do you.
This is all nonsense.
Please, don't insult me. You tell me what to wear? You choose my earrings? Frown at me when I tell your friends that my mother was a hairdresser? How awful to be seen in public with this common secretary. You are so ashamed of me, aren't you?
I am not ashamed of you.
And I'm not an idiot. But don't worry, Neil. It's all right. You don't need to be ashamed anymore. Because I'm leaving you.